All right. Welcome to the fantasy front office. That's what I called it because we have Dan, Farhan, Coccimiglio, just hot off the presses. He was about a minute late because he was just about to tell me blockbuster trade just went down. So let's just start it off with that. We got a monster 6 for 5.
Yeah, it was a big trade. The guy has a decent team, but he's had bad luck, 0-6, and he needed to shake things up. And
This sounds like what you were texting him? Hey
no,
man, look, your team's not bad. You're 6-0, but you might just need to shake it up,
no, he actually, we worked it together. He's on my. In fact, he'll be on my show in about 8:30, 8:45 tonight. Bora, he's one of our regulars, and it's I think it's a good deal for him. It's a good deal for me. I hope, hopefully it works out. You want to hear the deal?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to like I'm used to like maybe a 2-team,
I know it was going to be a 3 for 3 deal.
Okay.
It was going to be a 3 for 1 deal.
Okay.
I was giving up 3 and he was 1, but he was going to drop the 2. And I said, well, if you're going to drop those 2, just throw them into me because I can use them. And so
kept going.
And then he re-proposed it on a 5 for 5 deal. And I'm like, well, I really need a tight end here. I got a bye coming up in a couple weeks. And, so he threw in the tight end that, so here's the deal. The deal is this. You want to hear what I'm sending or what he's sending first?
Okay. You first.
Okay. I am sending Christian Watson, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, Dan, if you only listen, I have a few. I'm not joking. I have some notes before the show, and I have a bunch of like buy now or like trade for, and Christian Watson and Jonathan Taylor were on that list. Okay, keep going.
To buy now or trade?
To buy now.
Really?
Trade for. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I know Watson's going to be good. I love Watson. Okay, Watson, Taylor, Rashad White, Rashee Rice, and Zach Charbonneau. Guys I kind of liked on my bench.
Okay, let me okay.
So the two key guys I'm getting.
But these are names. These are real names.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's shaking it up, and
Rashad White. It was Jonathan T. That's a blockbuster.
It is. It's a big deal.
Okay. All right. Now tell me what's coming in.
I'm getting Amari Cooper.
Okay.
I like Cooper better than Watson.
Okay.
Not a ton, but a little bit. I'm getting Bijan Robinson.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's the
All
key.
Right. Okay.
Okay. The rest are kind of like, Zach Ertz, Josh Dobbs, who.
But it's a 2 quarterback league.
It is a 2 quarterback league. I have a bye in 2 weeks, but I heard, that the window just opened today for
Murray.
For Kyler Murray, 21 days. I'm hoping they wait all 21 days before they activate him. And then I'm getting Antonio Gibson just to kind of be a backup on my bench, and Khalil Herbert. So when he comes off IR in a few weeks, maybe he'll be okay, So I'm getting the two starters that Cooper and Bijan that improved my starting lineup quite a bit.
Oh, wait. I'm going to send this link to my fantasy football league. I accidentally just sent them the invite link, which would be bad. Well, it wouldn't be bad necessarily, but I think that
military, Eric, that trade may help me this week. We shall see. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor. I didn't want to give up Taylor, but I didn't want to give up ETN either. So it was like, so now I have ETN and Robinson in the backfield.
Okay, that's pretty damn good. So you have Brian Robinson and Travis Etienne. Bijan. Sorry.
Brian. Yeah, not the
Oh,
Commandos.
shite. See, because here's the thing. You were talking to me, and then let's just start this with, so the reason why I really wanted to do a show with Dan is because I realized, well, first of all, I'm only doing these like 2 NFL shows, like with Cassidy, and then I go on Larry's show after the Niner games. And I was like, I need to add some more programming. And Dan usually calls me up, and these are the conversations we have. He makes so many trades. There and a lot of them are just insanity. And I just love to talk about all this stuff with him. And so it's like, why not just do a stream? So that's what we're doing now. And
Cool hat, by the way, Rye. I love the hat.
Thank you. Curry brand. It only cost me like $45 plus like some like significant shipping. Under Armour is just completely off their game. They're just fumbling the bag with this whole Curry brand thing. Now he has a cool logo. They really should be putting more into that. But that aside, I mean, you were telling me for a while, you're like, should I trade ETN plus somebody for Bijan? And I told you I wouldn't do it, honestly, because I have Bijan in one of my leagues. And, you know, I think that Bijan's a guy you want to trade for right now, but ETN's just like, you don't even have to worry about him. Like, he's just lock solid, you know, top 4 RB. He's going to be getting a ton of volume. You just don't even have to worry about it. Tank Bigsby, no thank you. So now all of a sudden you figured out a way where you ended up with both of them, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, you probably got the best player in the trade. Maybe a slight upgrade with Cooper, although you got some more certainty with Cooper. I'll give you that.
Watson can be a 20+ point guy because he can get you 6-8 receptions and 2 TDs. You know, and get 100 yards because he's a deep threat. That was probably one of the tough, because I drafted Watson, I traded him, I got him back in a trade, and I was just looking forward to starting him this week because he started off the year pretty much, you know, week to week, didn't play like 3 or 4 games because of the hammy. And then he gets healthy and he wasn't on my team. So I got him back during his bye week, and I was really looking forward to starting him this week. So yeah, MF says, I like Jared Goff. I know he proposed to me Jared Goff for Jahmyr Gibbs. And it's like, that was rejected in less than 3 seconds.
See, I actually have I don't really have any concern. I've never played in a 2 QB league. So.
It's fun. I'll tell you what, there's tons of points.
Yeah.
And you don't have to play the second quarterback. You can flex. You can do a tight end, a receiver, or a running back.
Oh, it's a super flex league.
It's a super flex league.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
that is sick.
So you got a wide receiver flex, and then you can you got 2 RBs, 2 wide receivers, and then you got a running back or wide receiver flex, and then you got the super flex.
Oh, that's kind of sick. It just would suck if someone was hoarding QBs.
It's full PPR, so every catch is a point.
Ooh.
Every yard's a 1/10 of a point, you know. So a 20-yard catch is 3 points.
Let's give it a little shout out to Military History Chronicles. Hey Mef, he said, hey MF, talking to MF, the channel is up, going to try and do a live tonight. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, hey, military. I mean, Eric, I need a thumbnail. It's gonna. My day has been crazy. I just got home about an hour and a half ago. Had some dinner and just had to actually look at that trade a little closer. And I was just like, oh man. And then the phone with work was going off, and so Eric, I need a thumbnail for like 8:30. Maybe 8:45. We'll just do a what the heck's the subject going to be tonight? I thought it was
Rangers post game.
I don't know. It's going to be football, but I thought it was Thursday. Is tonight Wednesday or Thursday?
Today's Wednesday.
Jeez. See, I got this concussion a week ago, and I'm like forgetting some days here.
Oh no.
I'm like, I'm doing all right, but I'm just like, I've got so much stuff going that I thought we were doing Thursday night football. So Let me see. What do we got? What can I do?
Warriors Kings preseason action.
We'll probably cover a gamut. Let's just
A Peter Gamut.
yeah. We'll do a Niners preview. Niners Vikings, I guess.
All right. Okay.
Something like that.
Well, so you know what? I took my doggy to the dog park and I just was jotting down some thoughts, some notes. And I think I'm just going to go with kind of my notes, and I think it'll just provide us stuff to vamp about.
Okay.
So the first thing I wrote down, really low scoring week this past week. And I think that the NFL just as a whole is like at an all-time low for scoring. So I think back in 2020, it was like at like an average of like 25 points per game. This year, we're at like 20.
Per team,
which is massive when you start talking about 5 extra points.
5 points, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, so fantasy scoring all around is just low. There's so many shitty quarterbacks right now. Like if you look at the matchups this week, like they're all like 1 or 2 point spreads because it's just nothing but shitty quarterbacks. And then also this week, you know, we had a bunch of injuries, had a few QB injuries,
right?
And now we're entering the bye-apocalypse. So everyone kind of needs to like dig deep and find, you know, there's some guys that normally you wouldn't, you know, play, but you got to dig deep for some flexes now. It's okay. And the first team I really wanted to start with, speaking of quarterback injuries, was the Colts. So Anthony Richardson done for the season. That's what everyone's saying. But what I think is that Gardner Minshew is going to be better for this offense in terms of fantasy. Like Richardson may be better for winning games, more explosive, all that kind of stuff. But just think Gardner Minshew threw the ball 55 times last week. It's, you know, a much bigger target share for Michael Pittman. He's getting way more targets, going a little bit more down the field. And then the running back, 24% of Minshew's 55 targets were to the running back. So all of that to say, I think like it's the point where you have to buy Jonathan Taylor. And if you have Jonathan Taylor, keep him. And if you can trade Zach Moss, if you can convince someone in your league that thinks, oh, you know what, this is a 50-50 split and, you know, Minshew's pretty horny for Zach Moss, you know, make that trade. Because Taylor had like what 20% or something like
Taylor's
that.
volume's going up because he's just getting into shape.
Exactly.
I mean, in football shape. I think this week might be tough because they got Cleveland.
Yes.
But going forward, Jonathan Taylor, I almost liked him better than ETN just because he's gonna get so much. I mean, he's gonna get the goal line.
Yeah, and now with Richardson, like that was the crappy thing about Richardson is he's going to just steal all of these goal line touchdowns.
You know, I look at the trade. I mean, I really got 2 players that are pretty useful, but I gave up, in my opinion, 3. I mean, if you look at the trade, I know a lot of people are saying it looks one-sided, and I mean, on paper, it could look like that, but you look at, he's struggling. He needs starters. He's getting Watson, Taylor, and White, which he can start all 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
And then Rice and Charbonneau, if Walker goes down, is going to be a top 5 back.
I know. The funny thing is, like, he's not really the guy that needs Charbonnet. Charbonnet is the guy, like, if you're in the top half of your league, Charbonnet, like, please, like, you know, you keep him on your bench. Because just remember last year with Kenneth Walker, he didn't come on until the very end of the year, and then he was a league winner. And that's the same thing with Charbonnet. And I think Rashee Rice also, he's like, I had some here. 1 second. I have some stats on Rashee Rice.
They did trade for Kansas City. Got back Hardman today.
They did get Hardman, but part of the reason why I love Rashee Rice so much was because Julian Watson also went down. But then you add Hardman, maybe that takes some away. But like,
it might open things up more for Rice because Hardman's going to spread the field.
It might, and like MVS sucks. Like their receivers suck. And
They really do. They only Scantling, like you said, he stinks. Tony stinks.
Tony stinks.
Didn't they just cut or get rid of
Sky
Sky
Moore is
Moore?
still there, but I don't
still
know if
there?
they did, but he just sucks.
Yeah.
And Rashee Rice, as far as like he's like their best wide receiver on like a yards per route run basis.
I was hearing that Rice was getting that. You know how much Kelsey was getting 34 or 35% of the red zone tosses, and Rice is getting 36.
Yeah, so his like yards per route run is crazy because he's not he has less snaps than Tony, than MVS,
Right.
but like when he's on the field, like Mahomes just throws it to him like almost every single time.
I know.
It's crazy.
I
And
was gonna start him. I was gonna change my lineup and start him this week because I'm noticing that it's a possibility that Devontae Smith is questionable now with a hamstring.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like, dang it.
It's all right though, but I mean, Rashee Rice, the thing that's been like keeping him off the field is he does like dumb shit. Like he'll like line up in the wrong place, or
it's week 6, it's week 7.
Exactly, it's week 6
into week 11, 12. He's going to be clicking.
And if he's just like the clear cut number 1 on that offense, like that's a stud.
I know. It's like I say, it's a lot of it. It's kind of like the Matt Williams for Jeff Kent trade. It looks so lopsided, and yet, Kent was the star. Williams played well, but the Giants got a couple other players in the deal that really helped the Giants win the division. And I really wanted to hang on to Rice and Charbonnet just because, like, I just paid $11 for fab money for Charbonnet.
Dan MF's asking if your trade got rejected.
I don't think so, unless somebody's already. It just went down. I think there's a full day.
The other thing I wanted to say is, Pittman, I think you give him a bump. He's like a locked in wide receiver too. He's going to have more opportunities for touchdowns.
Pittman, I don't have Pittman. He's not in the deal.
No, I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh,
and
okay,
also,
yeah.
like the Colts secondary is so ass that they're just going to be behind in a lot of games. So it's going to be a good script. Yep. And exactly. So I'd say buy Taylor now. He's, locked in RB1.
So you all of a sudden you like Watson now.
I mean, I like him just. I mean, I don't know. Cooper, Watson, similar, but I think that there's a lot of people that might be scared off of Watson.
Some are. I really wasn't, because I know some were scared off him by the hammy.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about Watson, he's not only a deep threat, but he's a possession receiver too. And he's tall, and he's the red zone guy. I mean, his first game, he caught a TD. First game back.
I mean, he has a chance to be like the alpha receiver.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yes.
I had him last year, and he put up 18 points almost every week for me.
Are we so can we start the
and that
narrative?
Was in a half PPR.
Can we start the narrative? Christian Watson carried Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Next piece of news: Titans. Do you have Derrick Henry?
I do not. I got rid of him for ATN.
Oh, that was a great move. Because Tannehill, it's another ankle thing. He had the ankle thing last year. I'd expect him probably. I don't know. I just don't think you can count on Tannehill to come back in less than maybe 4 weeks. And by then, it's like, is their season going to be over? There's already rumors of them shopping Derrick Henry.
Oh, geez. Did the trade get rejected?
No.
It did. It's a voter league. I can't even believe this. This sucks. It's guys in here. I know who's rejecting it. Will Martinez is in here. Will be, because they've been commenting about it. There's 2 rejections. The commissioner may have looked at it and rejected it. Oh, crap.
Well, it's not bad. You were just talking yourself into having some fun.
I know, but I want it. I wanted Bijan and I wanted Cooper.
I mean, yeah. I will say, I mean, you might be able to do this next week. I mean, honestly, Bijan is like, if I were him, like I see why he's trying to get rid of Bijan because he's super frustrating in that like their offense, like they're running the ball to Algier. It's like a 50-50 split. Algier seems to be getting the red zone carries. But listen to this. Bijan ran a route on 45 different plays last week. 45.
Bijan?
Yeah. So he's like they're using him like crazy in the passing game. But he doesn't seem like he's been able to.
Will Martinez says I have to do him in the middle of the night when everyone's asleep.
What is he talking about?
The trade. Because our league is it's in transactions, Dan. Let me look in transactions. Let me see what's going on.
Well.
Oh, it didn't
get vetoed.
Oh, no, not. Oh, wait a minute. I can't read. Hold on. I lost vision in part of my eye. Jeez. Does that say vetoed?
No, I think that it's probably just giving you the option to veto.
I think it says vetoed.
Yeah. We got to hear it from Will Martinez and MF. Oh, maybe Bora backed out.
I don't think so.
Huh. Well, we'll
it
have
got
to
vetoed. That means 4 people voted against it.
Do you think Proctor did?
Probably. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, still though, at least you got the Henry for ETN. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking that the Titans are going to roll with Will Levis after the bye, and you know, if you have like DeAndre Hopkins, that it just kind of sucks because Will Levis might suck, but we know that what's his face sucks. Malik Willis absolutely sucks, and he's like runs the ball way more. It's going to be less red zone opportunities. He takes a ton of sacks. And so like if you own Derrick Henry, I feel like you're praying for a trade, honestly, because like a lot of these game scripts, they're going to be behind and they use Tajay when they're behind. Jacksonville, do you have any Calvin Ridley?
I don't.
You don't?
I'm trying to think who's got Ridley. Oh, Will B's got Ridley.
Huh. So I think Ridley's still a pretty good buy low, but do you have any Christian Kirk?
No, I think Eric's got Christian Kirk.
Because Christian Kirk is like, he's basically playing like the wide receiver one. I'd still hold on to Ridley. I think that he's a good buy low because there's a chance Kirk gets more targets than him, but it's just his targets are way more down the field. Yeah, but I also heard this. This is a little worrying if you're a Calvin Ridley owner. Apparently, Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, and Doug Peterson all own houses on the same cul-de-sac.
So, Lawrence, Kirk, and Peterson?
Yeah. So it's kind of like that stupid, like the Breakfast Club thing.
Oh, who's going to get
Cooper
fed there? Huh?
And Stafford. Well, like with Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp last year, where they were like reporting that they go to breakfast every morning, and then it just totally became a thing. Like I think that Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence just love themselves some Christian Kirk. What about? Do you have any Metcalf or Lockett?
I don't know.
Or Smith and Jigba.
I know. I got Smith and Jigba.
Okay, I kind of like. So he finally he's been getting like 5 targets a game, and they've all been like 2 yards down the field. This past week was the first time where he started to kind of eat into the target share of Metcalf and Lockett. So I think he's on the way up. And if either of them get an injury, I feel like he has a chance to be kind of a league winner type dude. Also, so who picked up Kyler in your league? Because I just swooped him in all my leagues.
Did you really? Let me look who's got Kyler.
You just throw him on IR.
Yeah. Players, Kyler. I know somebody's had him on IR since day one.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Purdy, which is, I think it's Cameron. I think that's Cameron. Scott Murray. Oh, geez. Back to the drawing board for me. Dang it. That's kind of like, that sucks, man. You're in deliberations with someone for over a week and you work on it. You had a deal, then you don't, then you have a deal and you're working on them. And then you finally make the deal and then it gets vetoed. How does that, I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
you know why
word
it
from the
probably got
commissioner,
vetoed?
probably
It
not
probably got
happening.
vetoed because people don't want me to have two great running backs.
They hate you because they ain't you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving up Jonathan Taylor. I think people are undervaluing Jonathan Taylor.
I think there's definitely some truth to that.
I mean, people are thinking, oh, Taylor, they look at the all the evaluators, online. Shoot, if I follow the evaluators' advice every week, which I did, they've actually 2 weeks ago, they lost me a game because I stacked my lineup based on their rankings.
Carlos Correa-ish. Very Carlos Correa-ish. Here, let me get to some of the questions in the chat. Let's see. What do we got?
Will Mixon.
Oh, here we go. David Koo, happy hump day. Happy hump day. Just traded Kenneth Walker and Garrett Wilson for Cooper Kupp in a 10-man PPR. Currently 4-2. Good or bad? Did I put too much into one basket? Still have Swift and Jones as my running backs. Well, that was going to be my question. Is like, it just depends on your running back situation.
So you got Swift and Aaron Jones. You got Cooper Kupp.
I mean, I'd say that's good. Cooper Kupp looks like he has. I mean, I was a little bit hesitant about him coming back, but I think that's one of the things I'm going to get to is I think up arrows for all of the Rams pass catchers and Matt Stafford. I think this Kyron Williams injury, all of a sudden it's looking like it might be, at first they were saying, not a high ankle sprain. Now all of a sudden it's like maybe he doesn't come back till week 11, and that backfield is just ass. Like it's a bunch of randoms, Royce Freeman. So I think that just means more passing volume for the Rams offense. So Cooper Kupp is, right back to being, a top 6, top 5 fantasy player. So yeah, I think he did good. And Garrett Wilson, I don't know, he maybe stepped kind of weird last week. And I mean, Zach Wilson has been playing like as good as he possibly can. And Garrett Wilson still isn't completely popping off. I do like Kenneth Walker, but I mean, Swift is a stud. I'm guessing he means Aaron Jones. I mean, Aaron Jones is, if he can stay healthy, he's coming into like a pretty damn good situation. So yeah, I'd say you won that one. You always want to get the best player in the trade, and Cooper Kupp's by far the best player in the trade. Will B says I'm a hold on to Ridley unless someone wants to give me Waddle. Yeah, I like Waddle as like a buy low too, because he just hasn't really gone off yet. Will Martinez says Rashee Rice and White for Mixon. I mean,
I don't think Mixon gets a ton more points than White. And then
I just don't think, I mean, personally, White just hasn't looked good. White's like looked really bad, and they're like starting to give, I mean, he still is like maybe like a low end RB2, but also Mixon's looked bad. So I don't know. And Mixon always has injury questions.
Yep.
And that's one you ponder, definitely.
Yeah.
Now that's a trade.
Yeah, Will Martinez says I should start my show with a rant going off on everyone in the league. That's right. I may just do that, Will. I may just blow up the league.
Wait, MF, who should I start? Kenny Pickett, Tyrod Taylor, or Downs? Ooh. Josh, well, I guess you're in a PPR league, so like, what's realistic? Like, I mean,
12 for downs, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get like 7, maybe 6 catches for 50 yards. Yeah, about 11. Tyrod, well, they're playing the commies. I kind of like Tyrod, honestly. And Kenny Pickett, I don't know. You just can't try. I just always worry Kenny Pickett's going to give you like 3.
Yeah, with a couple picks.
Couple picks. I'd go Tyrod, and you have the rushing upside. Okay, let's see. Keep going down. Okay, let's talk some sleeper pickups. Some late season kind of maybe some stocks you want to invest in. Does anyone in your league have Michael Mayer?
Yes. Bora just picked him up.
Bora just picked him up. Smart man. So he all of a sudden, like they past 2 games, they've like made an emphasis, like start the game, let's get the ball in his hand. And last game, he had like 8 targets, 7 catches. He looked like, I mean, this guy like coming out, like we all wanted the Niners to draft him, right? Like that was the big thing. Trade. Like I know Larry was like trade Trey and then draft Michael Mayer. I mean, he looked like Gronk receiving in college. I don't know about his blocking, but he looked like Gronk at Notre Dame, and he looked awesome in that Raiders game. And like if anything happens to either of those Raiders pass catchers, like he has a ceiling of being like a top 5 wide receiver. And even right now, I'd value him like top 12 wide receivers or tight ends. Just, you can't trust him necessarily to show up this week, but he could. And there's a chance that he's a stud. I'll give you one more tight end, Trey McBride. The Cardinal.
Arizona?
Yes. So last week, so he was like the Blitnikoff Award winner.
Right.
So he's got a pedigree. You have Kyler. There's a couple of factors. Kyler Murray is coming back, obviously, in a couple weeks. That's Dan's on the phone talking turkey. Picked up Dalton Schultz for $5 fab. Yeah, good move. Dude looks like a clear cut tight end one from here on out. I agree. But as far as like a lot of upside potentially, Trey McBride, Zach Ertz, last week was the first week where they really featured Trey McBride, and Zach Ertz targets and route run and all that dropped below McBride. I think that's partially an indication that they're trying to see what they have out of Trey McBride, and I think they're trying to keep Zach Ertz healthy so they can shop him. I mean, if they trade Zach Ertz in the next whatever week and a half, which I think is very likely, Trey McBride all of a sudden, he's in an offense where really all the targets are just funneled to Hollywood Brown. James Conner isn't even back yet. So I love the idea of getting McBride. And then when Kyler gets there, like he could be like a top 6, top set. Like him and Michael Mayer, I have like pretty even. But like as far as like tight ends are such a shit show this year that you might as well. Would you start Jahmyr Gibbs with Montgomery out? Absolutely. You got to. They were Dan Campbell was talking up Craig Reynolds, but I mean Craig Reynolds is just kind of a nobody. I mean, I think he had like a couple like Dan Campbell really liked maybe his like pass protection or something like that last week. But last time when Montgomery was out, they used Gibbs like more than I would have even assumed. Like they ran him in between the tackles. I think he had like 16 carries. So yeah, you have to start Gibbs, and that's as long as Gibbs is healthy, which I think he's going to be. Yeah, absolutely. But I also Montgomery, I mean, they have like a good schedule. The Lions schedule is a freaking breeze. So if you can also trade for Montgomery, I mean, it's a cracked rib situation, but I'd say after their bye week, he is going to be stud. Yep. McBride season. Jonnu Smith. I know. It's like the number 1 pass catcher on the Falcons. It's hilarious. I just traded CD for Evans and Gibbs. W or L? I think CD Lamb, for me, he's like a buy. He's kind of a buy low. Like he had a really good week on like a standalone game on Monday. But prior to that, the Cowboys were just in weird game scripts. Like they were in games where they were housing people, but like it was primarily because they were, getting a bunch of pick sixes and craziness. So there just hasn't been that many games where it's like, all right, Dak, you have to drop back and pass it a ton. but those games are coming, and the matchups are pretty juicy for the Cowboys going forward. So I like CD, but that said, Mike Evans and Gibbs, like, your RB1 was Pierce, then 100%, and you're loaded at wide receiver. Great move then. You know what? Throw Evans in the flex, and I mean, Dameon Pierce is just all of a sudden Devin Singletary looks like the RB1. So over there. So yeah, Dameon Pierce, you have to make that move. And Gibbs, you just have to think Gibbs is.
What was the move, Ryan?
He
just traded
CeeDee Lamb for Evans and Gibbs.
Oh wow.
I think that if his running back one is Dameon Pierce. You got to do that.
Oh.
I mean, Mike Evans, you got to worry, I guess, like about injuries, but he's just been good this year. He's just been solid as hell. Like he's been a top 15 wide receiver.
I would love to have Gibbs myself, but
yeah, especially in PPR. His team is Hal.
MF says out, so he must have gone out. Oh, I know where people.
Okay. AJ Brown. Wait, who's GW? George GW.
GW. Okay.
Well, he's got Zay Flowers. Bomb, Pitts,
GW, Bush,
George W. George W. Pickens. I don't know.
The 43 GW 43.
Oh, Garrett Wilson.
Oh, yeah, Garrett Wilson. Okay,
you're fine, dude. Evans will go off against the Falcons.
Hey,
Sunday. I agree.
In the green room shortly, you may have Bora. I sent him forward.
Oh yeah, get him in here.
He said he give him about 5 minutes. He wants to
hammer this thing out on air.
Yeah, he wants to voice his his frustration with the veto.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you this also. Pick up Trey Palmer, rookie receiver for the Bucks, and he's playing more and more, and just have him as a handcuff. And then if Mike Evans goes down, I think he'll be something. Oh yeah, talked about the Rams kind of, but I think like Cooper Kupp, like buy Cooper Kupp, believe it, buy Cooper Kupp, buy Puka Nacua. Like if you have, there's probably people in your leagues, and I'm doing this in all my leagues right now. There's people that, they had their run with Puka Nacua, they loved it, but they're probably feeling like, okay, Cooper Kupp's back, the joyride's over now. Puka Nacua is maybe like a RB2, RB3, or I mean WR2, WR3. I still think he's a wide receiver one. Just that Rams offense, they're going to be passing so much. They're going to be in some of the best game scripts out of any team in the league as far as like passing the ball. And with Kyron, I mean, I don't know. I don't like ankles with running backs. Kyron could have issues all year, and then this is just like the pass happiest, most volume in the league. I think that Puka is still like, if you can finagle Puka from someone, do it, because he's an absolute stud. I also like Tutu Atwell still. I still like him as a stash. Let's see. Oh, I had a few like low end, like as far as like receivers, you'll see like in competitive leagues that are maybe still available. It's kind of like Rashid Shaheed, I think it's Javon Reed or Jaden Reed. The Packers.
Reed. I had him.
Jaden Reed, and then Marvin Mims. I like the idea of picking up Marvin Mims and stashing him if you have the bench slot, and just waiting out this Jerry Jeudy news, because apparently the beat reporters are hammered, because I think he has like, as far as yards per target or yards per target or yards per route run, one of those, like he's second behind Tyreek Hill. Like he's been insane, and he's a rookie, and he just hasn't been getting the playing time. But if Judy's gone, like he could potentially be like an absolute stud down the end of the season. And Shaheed, I mean, I also like Rashid Shaheed. He's like kind of he's the ultimate boom bust. I wouldn't have any confidence playing him, but Michael Thomas, I think he might have an injury right now. And if Thomas or Olave go down, like he's going to be a pretty fun receiver to have. Jaden Reed, just in case. I mean, I don't know if Watson gets injured, I guess. Here's a big sell for you. Dan, do you know who has Deontay Johnson?
I do. I've seen it. I think
because he's supposed to
Deontay.
be coming back, and so I would say sell the hell out of George Pickens. Sell George Pickens. Get rid of him. See what you can get for George Pickens.
Oh, Boris got Pickens. He'll be on here shortly.
Oh, well, you can see this too, Dan, right? Like Kenny Pickett sucks. And George Pickens has been good this year, but like a lot of it's been like kind of some crazy long plays. And Deontay Johnson, he loves Deontay Johnson. When Deontay Johnson comes back, like they don't have enough offense to support 2 wide receivers. It's just going to be like 1 week Deontay, 1 week Pickens. Just get rid of Pickens. Like he's like a wide receiver 3, maybe flex once Deontay comes back.
Will Martinez says, how bad did Dan screw up by trading Mostert?
Ooh, well, I would say like if you
early trade, he's gone off.
He's gone absolutely off.
I did get in that deal back. I got White, which has been so, but I got Laporta.
Okay.
So, then I teamed up Laporta with Goff.
Yeah.
So a TD pass is, it's like could be as much as 14, 15 points.
True. Laporta was good again this week too. He'd been coming off the injury. I think that was probably his worst game. Like I think he had 11 targets.
He's questionable again. Get him to the bye because he's got the calf snagging.
Also, I just got to bring it up again because I posted a video about it, and I saw that. Who said it? I think it. Oh yeah, it was Mark Graves. He said, where are you getting 30-1 for Goff? That's just, we did our show Sunday night. That's what me and Cassidy saw. Jared Goff MVP, but let's see if it's gone down. Yeah, because look, if you search Jared Goff MVP, like all of a sudden it's like all these articles about it. And he won on Offensive Player of the Week. I think it's gonna get trendy. Oh my God, yeah, it's down to 19-1. So that maybe I should update that that post. But I mean, we saw it at 30-1. We knew it was great value. I'll tell you what though, it's going to go back to 30-1 if they lose to the Ravens, and I still like it. If they lose to the Ravens, I'm going to invest more capital into it because it's just going to go up from there, and everyone's going to forget about them. But then the Lions have a cakewalk schedule. All right, we welcome in the great Bora.
Hello.
Getting ready to have dinner.
Nah, just a little
protein shake.
Yeah.
What flavor is that one?
Chocolate, creamy chocolate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So Bora's and I made a deal today, just consummated maybe a couple of hours or less from ago.
Yep.
And it got rejected as like that. I can't even believe it.
But Bora, are you wanting to consummate this trade?
No.
Oh, you want it out?
No. I want it. I want it in.
You want in?
Yeah. I think it's a good deal. I mean, I'm 0-6, so something obviously isn't working, and I have the pieces. And I mean, Dan and I have been talking for a couple of days at least, right?
We had a deal Sunday that almost went down, but then it got pulled by Boris. I was just on Larry's show about ready to accept it.
So maybe we can talk through I mean, you guys could make an appeal. I feel like you could appeal to, you've got some league members in here, some who definitely
we've got how many league we've got Military History Chronicles, there's 1. We got Will Martinez 2. We got Will B 3. We got MF 4. Who else is in here in the league that I see? There's 4. There's a third of the league, and you and me, Boris. So we got half the league right here.
Okay, so you know what? Will Martinez makes a good point. He said, I bet Bora being 0-6 played a role in the deal being nixed. That as like if you don't know the context, you could talk yourself into some sort of collusion possibly with a bottom tier team, but we all know that that's not the case. And Bora, I was breaking down the trade, and I think it's a pretty fair trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good trade, right? It's not lopsided to any one side. It's a pretty even trade.
No, I mean Cooper and Watson is completely like up to your preference. Like Watson's like, Cooper's going to be more rock solid for you. Rock solid WR2. Watson maybe has potential to be a WR1, but I mean, I don't know. Jordan Love's pretty erratic, and he also gets injured a lot, and he's kind of boom or bust. But he could be a WR1.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Taylor's like, I mean, he's just lock him in as an RB1. I mean, this week may not look great because they're playing Cleveland, but the snaps are only going to go up, and he's going to absolutely eat with Minshew as the quarterback. He's going to get all the goal line carries.
Exactly.
And Bijan is give me your review of Bijan, because I own him, and he's been frustrating. You can't deny how good but it's like you watch him, and it's like this guy is one of the best running backs in the league. You can tell he just from a talent and like execution standpoint, but it's like, it seems like every week for him to like get a touchdown, he needs to like catch it behind his back, like left-handed on a errant shuffle pass and bring it into the end zone. Like it's
I mean, you always see it on the news or on Twitter. It's like he has this one highlight grab or highlight run, and it's like nothing else. That's the only thing that he really gets done, and it's frustrating. I mean, he was splitting carries with Algier earlier on in the season. It's like, I mean, I drafted him with my number 1 pick. I think it was like the 9th pick.
Weren't you the 11th pick? Were you the 11th?
11th, yeah. 11th.
Yeah, 11th pick.
I think I drafted him with the 6th pick. So, wait, no, 5th. So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, he was projected to be one of the top 3 running backs in the league, at least fantasy football wise.
And like Cordero Patterson was freaking awesome last year.
Right? Yeah.
In a similar role, and he had Mariota, and it's like, how can it be that much worse than Mariota? But Ritter is just so ass. He's horrible. He's such ass. Like, I think partly you got to bet on with the Bijan thing is you just got to bet on like he's going to get benched for Heineke.
I think so too. I mean, I haven't looked at any of the defenses, but I bet they're stacking the box, right? They're just
absolutely stacking it.
Yeah, they're just making Ritter beat him deep, and he can't. I mean,
guys, you saw the
talking
game me out of the trade.
No, you saw who'd they play? The Texans, right?
Yeah, they played the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, he had 3 interceptions against the. No.
Yeah. He had wait. Yeah, what was the game where
they played the Commanders? They played the Commanders.
Yes, Commanders. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had 3 horrible interceptions against them
in the red zone.
Exactly, and it's he blew them that game, and Bijan isn't getting that. He's not getting that protection really.
No, and I told Dan like an optimistic stat is that he ran 45 routes this past week, which is pretty insane. But it's like, if you watch the game, like I had it on my YouTube TV box. I always have the Falcons because I'm like just waiting for Bijan to pop. And it's like all of these like obvious like wheel routes, and like everyone knows it's going to Bijan. And then he'll just get overthrown or thrown behind him, and he has to try and make some unbelievable catch. It's just nothing easy.
Yep. I mean, seriously, nothing
Are
easy.
The Astros really about to blow it?
It's 8-5 going in the bottom of the 9th. It was 8-2.
Ooh.
It's now 8-5 going to the bottom of the 9th. They were up 5-0, and then it got to be 5-2, and then the Astros put up 3, made it 8-2, and now it's 8-5, bottom of the 9th. That'd be sweet to walk it off.
I decided not to. After they went up 2-0, I was like, oh, they're getting Scherzer back. Like, no need to hedge. But in hindsight, maybe it was right to hedge after they went up 2-0.
Best thing our league did was get rid of vetoes. Interesting.
I think I've read like some compelling. So we had like in our big fantasy football league, we had a whole like a massive argument about this. And ultimately, like we all read through all this. There's all these different cases for different stuff. The best case is just, this is America. If both teams are consenting and like not like, for us, it was like in college, we were like, oh, it shouldn't count. Like that guy was hammered when he, he did the trade. But like, you guys are sober parties and you're both consenting adults. You should be able to make your trades, I think.
No, is this league, is it where, I think in this league, it's where it's only one person has to veto.
No, it's not like Congress where they can just get rid of the speaker.
No, but I mean, in my other league,
it's a third.
It's a third.
So 4, I believe 5 have to vote against it. The majority.
Seriously? 5 people vetoed against that?
Yeah, I don't get it. How fast that was. It happened just like that. As soon as we announced it and it came on and this show started, it was like vetoed. I don't know.
By the way, Dan, do you realize that Mauricio Dubon is 3 for 4 today and is hitting 500 in the postseason?
Jeez.
He's a Gold Glove candidate, I think, too. He's a finalist.
No way.
He's a finalist at second base, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
All right.
Stupid.
I got the game here on the bottom of the 9th, so I can see it on my phone. But
is it still one out?
No out. Just started the bottom of the 9th.
I see the game's over.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Double play.
Am I
Piersky was worth it.
I wasn't live. Okay. I didn't go all the way to live. It's over.
It's over.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we're really looking at that trade, it's Bijan's obviously the best player. His carries are gonna go up, and Ryan, do you think there's a possibility that Ritter gets benched like in the next 2 weeks?
I mean, that if you saw the Arthur Smith face after like it was bad. It was a bad visual. Arthur Smith has a funny face, but that was bad.
I was ticked. I picked up Heineke a couple weeks ago, thinking he was gonna, start as one more game, and then he has 2 weeks ago, he has that great game, and Sean Proctor picked him up and faced me, and by picking up Ritter got like 25 fantasy points, and he beat me by 7. He picked up Logan Thomas, the tight end for Washington, and Ritter the day before the game on waivers, and both of those two guys combined to knock me off.
Ritter. I mean, he 3 picks. I mean, the fact that Ritter threw the ball 47 times is just shocking. But I mean, it's like, if you're Ritter, like the only thing you can do is, if you're going to be a player like Ritter that's that ass, like, you have to just not turn the ball over ever.
Exactly. You have to be
execute
the super game manager who just dinks and dunks, and he's
I bet if we swap teams, Bora, like completely swap teams, they would approve it, because then it would be like, okay, well, Bora's going to start winning, Dan's going to start losing some games, and that's 2 guys we don't have to worry to make the playoffs.
Exactly. No, I mean, it's just, from my perspective, it's just like, I'm 0-6. I need to make a trade. I need to switch something up. So I might as well do that. And it's, from Dan's perspective, he's getting Bijan and Amari Cooper. Those are 2 starters.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and Charbonnet. Well, see, here's the thing. Do you guys have some sort of punishment system?
Yeah. You got to walk around with a picture of Kapler on the beach with his in his Speedos, and we're going to make a shirt, and you have to walk around Oracle Park during the whole game saying "Gabe is the babe."
Oh wow! Well, what about, so are you giving it to just whoever comes in last place, or is there a last place playoff?
We haven't had a last place playoff. We didn't think about that.
A last place playoff is fun because then everyone's still in it kind of at the end.
Yeah.
Like, there's the stress.
11 plays 12 or something.
Well, for example, like if you are one of the very bottom 2 teams, then you get Oh yeah. Then 12. No, I think 9 plays 12.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't Yahoo has that then during the playoffs, right? 9
Yeah,
plays 12 and 10
9
plays.
plays 12, 10 plays 11, and then whoever loses that advances to the losing championship. And then the way we do it in like our 12 team league is like 7 and 8 both get a bye. So basically they clutch it. They don't have to be involved in it, but there's just 2 teams that are out of it.
What platform do you use?
ESPN. It's just
Okay.
like custom settings, I think.
I
don't
like
know.
Sleeper. Sleeper's a good app for it.
I've been seeing some like interesting stuff. Like it makes it too difficult to like find rankings, but like I've seen interesting stuff like, you know, first 10-yard reception is worth, 0.25, 20-yard reception worth
customize it,
0.5.
But I like how you can trade fob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can include fob in the trade, and it makes it pretty fun.
We recently had an argument in our league about that because I'm in first place and I've been hoarding fab. So like I've got 100 of my 100 fab left. And then all of a sudden everybody wanted to introduce where you could trade fab.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else in my notes except for the last buy I have is just buy the Browns running backs. I think like you could get Jerome Ford for pretty cheap right now because you saw like Kareem Hunt started eating into his role, but they just went through a brutal stretch
today.
Kareem Hunt didn't?
I'm pretty sure he didn't practice today.
Ooh. Well, either way, I'd probably buy both because Jerome Ford's like been serviceable and then he's played like the Niners, the Titans. Like it's been like a brutal stretch. And now I think they have the second easiest running back schedule going forward.
Interesting.
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
Oh, huge trade here. Gave up AJ Brown, CD, Drake London, and Jeff Wilson, and got Hawkinson, JT, Olave, and Zay Flowers in PPR. Oh wow. I got to think about this for a second.
AJ Brown and CD, 2 number 1s. Drake London, that's
Jeff Wilson's the sort of
God. AJ Brown. The only thing that worries me about that is like AJ Brown. Like if Devontae Smith, if this hamstring thing lingers, AJ Brown could be a monster. And AJ Brown also, I think the Eagles have like the easiest fantasy playoffs for receivers, but. I mean, okay, Olave is like a high-end wide receiver 2. Zay Flowers, like wide receiver 2 with upside. Hawkinson, top 3 tight end. And it just depends on your needs, I guess. I mean, JT is a stud. JT's going to be an RB1. Drake London is like a flex. Like if you have to play him, I don't think you can keep banking on Ritter to be passing this much.
Yeah. I mean, Drake London, isn't he like 6'5", 6'?
Yeah, and he's like so good.
Yeah,
he's so good, such a good player. But
that Atlanta offense has weapons, and they have a pretty good offensive line.
I know they just got to get Heineke in there. They could
do
do numbers with Heineke. But yeah, okay. I mean, team dependent, but it's like I understand that trade. I think it's good. I think you're good. It's just JT has to pop. Ban trade vetoes. I agree. Bijan will be fine. Just offense, just bad. MF. What do you guys think of the missed fumble call and Gibson call? I mean, the Gibson call was super whack. It was extremely whack. The missed fumble.
Hey, can we is there a way to go back and play that missed fumble call on here? Or is there a highlight you could do without sound?
I mean, I'll do it. I mean, I'm not monetized yet. By the way, subscribe so I can get monetized. But since I'm not monetized, I'll show it.
West Coast bias.
All right.
I heard Kyle Madsen say, regardless if that ball was going forward, he said it went backwards. If his hand was moving forward, he says it was a lateral. If it was a fumble or a pass, it was a backwards pass. Should have been a live ball. I want to see that because I don't remember it going backwards.
I mean, it's the Mahomesification of the NFL, like all of a sudden underhand passes.
I'd love to see if that thing went backwards because if that's the case, they blew it all the way around because they called it grounding. So they said it was a pass. If it was a pass and it was grounding, they blew that, and it was a fumble, they missed that. I think it was a fumble.
Yeah, I mean, I just going by like the rule of like if you ask like a bunch of drunk dudes in a bar that are all watching the game, like I think that like 80% of them would say that just sight unseen after the replay and everything. I think that they would all say, yeah, that's a fumble. Like if they called that a fumble, they wouldn't, and they challenged it, it wouldn't be overturned.
That's my point. That was my point.
Stupid ref blew the whistle.
Like even if you call it a fumble, all turnover plays are reviewed. So you're able to reverse it.
The guy that blew the whistle should be sat down for a couple of weeks. I mean, serious. You're told not to blow the whistle on those type of calls. Let it play out. So whenever I see a ref do something like that, I instantly think he's got money on it. Or I do. I think he's either got money on it, or his kids got money on it, or his kids' best friends got money on it, and it's whatever.
It's probably just like a high stress situation, or like, you know, there's also like confirmation bias. But yeah, I don't know. You'd think like New York should be able to like ring him up and let him know. But last thing actually is just on the Niners front. Like, I don't know if they're gonna play CMC or not. It seems stupid to play CMC. But I know like everyone's talking about getting Jordan Mason more involved. Why aren't we seeing more Jordan Mason? So I've heard like some football smarts people say that it's going to be Mitchell because I guess Mason's pass protection is pretty sus. So if that's the case, like it's going to be Mitchell. Shanahan's 100% rolling with Mitchell unless Mitchell is still injured. What?
We'll tell everybody on sent it again.
Sent the trade request again.
Oh, no way. The same one?
Oh, you tried to sneak in ETN in there too, huh?
What are you talking about?
Just like, oh, it's the same thing, except, oh, wait a minute.
Just no one vetoes.
I mean, I don't know if Elijah Mitchell has much left in the tank. I mean, how many lower body injuries has he had? He's had a lot.
He's had a lot. I mean, Mitchell's good. Like, people talking about Mason being better than him. I think there's a big difference. And you see it this year with Alexander Mattison. There's just a big difference between being a running back, you know, in a committee and looking great, which Mason has been able to do. And then there's a big difference between that and like being the guy and shouldering the entire game, you know, for multiple games. I don't know if Mason can do that. Obviously,
I think my argument for Mason being able to do that is just we don't know if he can or can't be that. And I think he's deserved that so far this season. I mean, he's averaging like 5.5 per carry. I think Mitchell's averaging like 2.5. Something like that. True. So I just think, I mean, it's obvious Kyle trusts Mitchell more. He's the pass protector. He's been in the system longer. Yeah. But I just think, I mean, you should be able to beat the Vikings without CMC, whether you're starting Mitchell or Mason. So
yeah,
just give it a shot.
Go Mitchell, you know, 60% Mitchell, you know, 35% Mason, 5% TDP.
I definitely give CMC a week off. Let that thing heal because you still got 2 more months before even the playoffs start. Or more than 2 months.
Poor Nate Dogg. I've got A-Chain and Kyron hurt. Lost Dobbins week 1. Times are tough. Well, I mean, to lose Dobbins and then get A-Chain and Kyron is pretty awesome. Dobbins, I will say, though, I thought Dobbins was going to have a monster year, and he looked freaking good week 1. I had him in a couple leagues, too. I hold on to A-Chain, though. I mean, he's going to be a league winner if Tua can stay healthy at the end of the year. And
I'm looking at that trade again. I'm still kind of shocked that it got dealt. I mean, like, Ertz?
It's just because I think it's just
Ertz, Gibson, Dobbs. Those guys are, like, stash at the they're kind of like, what do you know, probably try and get rid of them.
They're bench players. I mean,
well, totally. And Dobbs is like, if Murray comes back, he's not any use.
What I bet it's the people at the top who vetoed, because they don't want you to get Bijan and Amari Cooper. But I mean, they're just trying to block it from you.
Yeah, that's
which I think is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you're living. That's, if you're gonna have a veto system, it should be like 7 out of 10.
Exactly. Or it should just be, you should be able to veto it if it's like, if the league agrees that it's so uneven and so lopsided that it's just that there's collusion involved.
Yeah.
There's no collusion here because, like I said, I mean, I had a bunch of offers for Taylor earlier in the year, and I was trying to, at one point, trade him. But when I found out he signed, that just jacked up his value.
Oh, absolutely. All right. You know what? Here's the last thing I want. Okay, a little off topic, but like Warriors are playing on Tuesday. How much
next week is regular season, right?
Yeah.
Did they win?
How
they
much
were losing to the Kings? I don't know. Let me see what's going on.
Oh, they're still playing.
How much thought have you guys given to this in-season tournament?
I haven't given much thought to it. A lot of people are saying they like it.
I like it a lot.
You like it a lot?
I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought it was just like halfway through the year they were going to have a tournament and like nobody was going to give a shit. And
it's going
to be for anything.
Games, I guess, and stuff too.
For regular season games, yeah.
What I would like to see is the winner of the first place team and the second place team make it to the championship. They get an automatic bid to the playoffs. They get the 8th seed. And if they, depending on what conferences, you get the reason you give them the 8th seed. Let's say they're the first or second seed. Doesn't matter. Nobody's lost anything. But let's say they finish just outside of it because of a late season injury or something. Well, crap. You played, you really played for something, because let's say you're on the bubble of making the playoffs, but you won the tournament and you got guys that are hurt, but you're okay. All right, let's just rest them. We got a spot. It means something. The money is great for the guys that don't make a lot of money, but it doesn't matter to LeBron James or Anthony, Davis or Steph but
the games do count towards your record,
right? They
so
do.
That does affect like playoff seedings.
I'm pretty clueless on the in-season tournament. Can someone explain it to me like I'm a 6-year-old?
Basically, I think it's 8 different groups of 5. Does that math check out? Or no?
That's 40.
6 groups of 5.
Yeah.
So 3 Eastern and 3 Western. And they kind of put them together by like, I'm guessing like some of last year's stuff, because like all the good teams have a chance of like making it out. But basically, during the regular season, like all of a sudden it'll be like, all right, the Warriors, this regular season game, this counts towards their tournament record. And it's kind of, okay, I'm kind of losing my train of thought. It's kind of like it's like the World Cup kind of, where like you're in a group. And so like, let's say the Warriors go 3-2 or something. And then, let's say the Warriors go 4-1, and then everybody, it's like 3-2 for the Kings and 3-2 for this team, and that team's 2-3 or whatever. So then the Warriors would advance to like play a qualifier or quarterfinal or whatever the heck versus another one of the teams. And then after that, I think after you get out of the pool or the pod or whatever, then it's just single elimination, and it's just single elimination until there's a championship game.
And these are all like embedded in the actual regular season, right?
All embedded in the regular season, except for once you get out of the pod play or whatever, right, then they match you all up. But also like if you're, you get put in like a loser's bracket too. So because they have to make all the games match up. So there is a loser's bracket. And I bet the guys will kind of care. Like it's because it's not like it's like some grueling 7 game. Like it's going to become like a win or you're out type of thing. And it will be kind of cool. I was thinking of it this way. Like, this may be the only time we get to see the healthy Warriors team, like, competing for something important, like with Chris Paul fully healthy and everything. Like, we can see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because we might not get that come postseason.
Is there like a specific time that the actual tournament's going to be, or is it just like randomized throughout the whole season?
I think it's like maybe like what, Dan, like January or
the tournament. I thought it was December, but I can't remember.
I think it might be December, and it's like the games start in November. So it's like the whole first half, because that's the thing everyone says is like, oh, I don't start paying attention to the NBA until, after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But now it's like the whole first half of the NBA calendar is like this tournament thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. You'll have a chance for like a random team like the Magic or something. Like all of a sudden, like maybe they go on a run. It's kind of like the NCAA tournament, and you just stack some wins together.
I think it'll be fun. I mean, what's the reward? It's like $1 million, right?
Yeah. Like, I think the reward's more like we won this shit, which is dope.
Yeah. So did you find that play, that fumble deal?
Oh, I didn't.
And while you're looking for that, what's your thought, Rye, on fantasy of adding a guy who's on IR like Aaron Rodgers or somebody who's really out just to cheer up the locker room a little bit, to
your fantasy locker room?
Yeah, because I brought in a couple of guys lately just to bring them into the camp and give the guys a little pep talk, and then I release them. I bring in new guys each week on the IR slot, just kind of,
I mean, honestly, Rodgers, like, okay, what are the honestly? There's a chance Rodgers plays.
Probably not till the playoffs, though.
Oh, you think?
Didn't he say like he was targeting week 12 or something?
Yeah,
we're talking fantasy playoffs, baby.
I mean, maybe that playoffs. I mean, shoot, maybe I'll pick. He is. Well, how in the heck do you return in 2 months from an Achilles?
His mushrooms, man. Ayukush, whatever it's called.
I'm struggling to find it, Dan.
That's all right. What's the
Oh, well, aren't you? You're streaming right now, right?
I'm gonna go stream at 8:45.
8:45. All right.
Yeah, I got to get a thumbnail up, so I gotta come up with a topic.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm trying to think.
He's going. What's our topic tonight? I thought it was Thursday night. We were gonna do Thursday night football. Man, that's where my head is.
I think you could just come out hot with. You could probably just come out hot with this fantasy football debauchery.
Yeah, let's just fantasy football
controversy.
Yeah,
injustice.
I'll just go off. Yeah. What the heck's going on around here? I got a trade going, and you guys. You know what? I control the money in this league. Nobody gets paid if I don't win this league now.
make it. Do the 49ers need to make a trade plus fantasy football debacle?
Smart. Yeah, that'll get some numbers.
Say that again. Do the 49ers
need to make a trade?
That's it?
Plus fantasy football controversy.
Okay.
Do you think the Niners need to make a trade?
I do.
Yeah.
Like margins or like big.
I would go all in.
Yeah.
I would get someone for their run defense. I think their run
plus fantasy football. What did we call it? Controversy, or what did we say?
Yeah, controversy. I mean, the Browns rushed for 160. I mean, it might not be a personnel problem more than a scheme problem with Wilkes, because Wilkes he's a DB coach by nature.
Yeah.
And I mean, their run defense was number 1 in the league last year without Armstead and Kinlaw for the whole season.
I think I think all their defensive issues, it was just a matter of they were on the field. Like, if you want to play good defense in the NFL, you play less defense. They were on the field for a really long time. And a lot of times those runs weren't they weren't gashing, but then it'd be like, a penalty or some stupid shit would happen that would extend the drive, and then all of a sudden they'd start gashing. I think the D was just exhausted.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, let me ask you this though: are you going into the rest of the season? Are you guys more concerned with the offense or defense, or none?
Special teams.
Special teams, yeah.
Honestly,
I'm a little concerned about just injuries. If like the key guys go down, their depth is, we think it's really good because, we hear about it, see it, oh yeah, Ray McLeod and Danny.
Will Martinez is a good topic.
I'm out. Hey, Rye, you want to join us on the
why not?
49ers?
I'm down to mix it up.
We'll cover some more fantasy controversy too.
Yeah, I'm down.
All I'm going to say is I have a pretty good matchup this week. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
But he's not in the chat right now because he's busy making the thumbnail.
Oh, wait. I was going to say, this is okay. Honestly, the thing that's concerning, because part of this was like the idea of like wanting to bet golf for MVP, but like we've obviously all been kind of worried about like the Eagles, right? Like it was like, oh, thank God the Eagles lost to the Jets because we don't want to lose pace. The Eagles are not winning the 1 seed this year. There's no chance. Their
schedule within like the next 8 weeks or something is brutal.
It's literally is the hardest schedule ever. So that's just not happening. So it's going to be the Niners or the Lions.
It could be the Lions. I mean, the Lions have a pretty cakewalk schedule.
They have an absolutely cakewalk schedule. Like this game is actually huge for the Niners. Like the Lions have to lose to the Ravens, because if they don't lose to the Ravens, like things are going to get weird. Because I still think they're on the ascension offensively.
Oh, for sure. I mean, let me get your thoughts on Gibbs, right? I mean, I have Gibbs in one of my leagues. He's gonna get all the starting snaps right this week.
Yeah.
David Montgomery's injured.
Yeah, it's gonna be all Gibbs.
Reynolds
Gibbs is gonna be all. Gibbs is a little banged up, but it should be Gibbs' workhorse day.
I mean, yeah. I thought my league was dynasty. So I traded Jefferson I traded Kamara and Hopkins for Jefferson and Gibbs.
Oh, Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's actually after the injury.
Yeah.
Oh, if you did have dynasty, you'd be peaking.
Exactly. How does dynasty work? You get to keep those guys?
Dan, you would love this. So it's like, I think each dynasty league is a little bit different, but essentially, let's say in your league you get like 4 dynasty picks or like you get like 4. You get to keep 4 dynasty guys four guys every year for dynasty.
Right.
So Dan, it'd be like, let's say you drafted Sam Laporta with your last pick. So then the following year, you could opt to, for your very last pick in the draft, just have Sam Laporta.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Or you could be like, third round, I got ETN. I'm going to, I'll take him in the third round again. And it's like nothing too crazy, but instead of like, he's a first round talent that you got in the third round.
Oh,
and so you get like maybe, 3 or 4 of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then when you're drafting and when you're like picking up on waivers, you're like,
I probably wouldn't be able to have too many guys because I trade them all away.
Yeah.
My team is like literally like 5 out of my 15 are original draftees.
Really?
Yeah. But
auction also, I've never done auction, but it seems kind of fun.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
I traded away Kamara and Tank for Madison and Ayuk.
Ooh, Kamara and Tank.
Oh, I don't know how injured Tank is. The tough thing is that Kamara is just looking pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'd say like Kamara's like right there with Jonathan Taylor.
Listen, well, but
Ayuk, you know what? Ayuk, I heard this as a spin zone. Like the Browns kind of did well with the Niners, like playing a bunch of man. Possibly that other teams do that going forward, and Debo's a little banged up. It could mean huge increase for Ayuk because he's like their one man beater guy.
And he had 3 drops, which I don't think is going to happen
know.
again. So
Yeah,
Kamara also when what's his name, Jamal Williams comes back, do you think he's going to get the goal line touches?
Jamal Williams loves to be a huge snake and steal all of those. I'm not sure. I mean, they also have that rookie.
Hey, who's ever got Devontae Adams? He's calling. He wants the ball more.
Wait,
who do they have throwing to him?
He said that?
He said that today. I want the ball more.
Controversy.
Yeah. Wait, is Jimmy G like? I think he's like gonna play.
I think he might play. Yeah.
I don't really know what the deal is with his back.
I heard on the broadcast he was going to the hospital for his back. I don't know.
I heard he dodged a bullet, is what I heard. But
he's always injured. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
RBs are JT, Saquon, and Hall. Well, so you're good with JT. Saquon, I'd maybe try and trade. Breece Hall looks awesome. Looks like a workhorse.
You could get a pretty good return for Saquon.
Yeah, I would trade him like now, or maybe after they play the Commanders because he might do something, but they're not going to score really.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking in this trade, but I was like looking to move Devontae Smith, but then I thought, shoot, he's playing Miami this week. It could be just a track meet, if he plays.
Who?
Devontae Smith. If he's healthy, it's going to be a track meet.
I know, but doesn't your like conspiracy bug kind of go like, it's like, why are they signing Julio? Oh, well, he's like dead. What is he going to be, a tight end? But then all of a sudden, like Devontae hamstring pops up on the.
I know.
It could be just Wednesdays. A lot of times are just Veterans Day.
Yeah.
The thing with hamstrings, though, hamstrings linger.
He had a hammy earlier in the year, Devontae, and
Mikey Strumsky treatment.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my thumbnail to come through so I can see if we're posted yet.
Yeah, well, the Lions are kind of like the Eagles. Like they're not as good as the Eagles, but they're kind of like the Eagles last year.
They have a super underrated defense too.
I know their defense. It was such a quick turnaround.
Is CJ Gardner-Johnson come back, or is he out for the year?
Ooh, let me look that up. He might be out for the year.
Because if he's coming back, then they could be scary.
Yeah, they lost some corners. They lost the guy Mosley. What? Deebo Samuel threatens to beat up CJ Gardner-Johnson. Is that true?
That's too much emphasis on the.
Yeah, just do like 49ers trade bigger and then the 49ers logo.
Yeah. Do 49ers need to make a trade?
Yeah, need to make a trade. Niners need to make a trade, ? And then the 49ers logo.
He's like a Kirk Cousins mocked up in a 49er. Oh, Kyler Murray's back at practice today.
I know. That's
That's kind of wild.
I don't think he's gonna. I would assume they're gonna use the whole 21-day window, right?
At least 1 week. He's not playing this week.
No, he's not.
No, but maybe in 2 weeks.
Maybe.
That's great to hear. What was this guy's trade? Well, I didn't see your thing about Cooper, Tank, and Cooper and Devontae. I mean, I like Devontae. I mean, yeah, this also might be like a good time to hammer it's pretty true. Like the hungry dogs eat, or whatever the hell that is, or hungry, loud, squeaky wheel and something. I'd probably hammer the over on Devontae props this week because they're going to force feed it to him probably.
Jacoby Myers is having a great year.
He is. I mean, he's like Jimmy's favorite target.
He is. I mean, because he runs those intermediate to short routes.
What a hilarious, that's like one of those things where it's like Belichick, like you could doubt, like prime Belichick, you could doubt him for his drafting. But like when he had guys in the building, like, and he got rid of them, like you pretty much could write off that they were toast. He got rid of Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers would be far and away their best weapon. Like Kendrick Bourne is legitimately their best receiver.
Is Kendrick Bourne starting on any other team?
I mean, maybe the Chiefs as
maybe, but I mean, he's their wide receiver. He's their one. So I mean, they have zero offensive weapons. I mean, Ramondre was supposed to be good, but
I know. I still like the idea of the Niners trading for Ramondre if they could get him for cheap.
That's true. Yep.
What is let me look at this score in this Warriors game. We said Keegan Murray is balling. Keegan Murray is awesome. The Kings, they're in our pod for the tournament. I think they're the one. Yeah, they're the team to watch out for. Like, I kind of like the Kings. Like, I think they're 16-1 to win it. Not the title, but they're
a sneaky good team. I mean, not really sneaky, but like not everybody's talking about them.
Yeah, I know. They're like 5-1 to win the Pacific Division.
I mean, they're a little like the Lions, right? It's like they have a good team. They have a good coach.
I think everyone's like, oh, they blew their wad last year. Like, how could it possibly be that good? But I don't know. I mean, they're the kind of team that's going to want to win a bunch of regular season games again. So Eddie K says, hell nah. I kind of like them as far as the in-season tournament goes. Like, you gotta kind of think those younger, hungrier teams. Like, give me the Kings, give me the Thunder.
Oh yeah, because the tournament's going to get a ton of publicity. I mean,
the Clippers are probably they're going to be without one of their guys. Exactly. The Suns,
the Lakers,
I don't know,
even the Warriors, maybe.
God, it's gonna be so annoying if the Lakers somehow win that shit and just all of a sudden, like, everyone's gonna play up how important this stupid cup was.
Oh yeah. Who is it? Just the Kings, Lakers, Suns, Warriors, and Clippers? Is that the
pod?
Yeah.
No, let me look them up. I'll pull them up. ESPN. What do you call it? NBA Cup. NBA Cup. It is good fodder. Like, it's great fodder for like debating and like stupid shit like that.
Sure.
All right. Chrome tab. All right, so we are Group F. So we're it's like young, kind of hungry teams, and then the Warriors. Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, Thunder, Spurs. I mean, the Spurs, I don't know. Interesting. I mean, this is that's a good group. Dallas, Denver, Clippers, Pelicans. That's a pretty tough group. Memphis, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, Trailblazers. I mean, that's a freaking tough group.
Yeah.
Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls, and Magic. Oops. I mean, Celtics should win that easily. Bucks. Oh, it'd be great if we got Bucks Heat again and the Heat upset them with Dame.
It would be good, yeah.
Sixers.
What do you think of the Wizards this year, though? With Poole,
they're probably gonna be. They're gonna be ass, but like Poole's gonna be fun. He'll go Bradley Beal. Oh, right. He said I meant to know on if Bourne was to be a starter elsewhere. Yeah, no.
I mean, he's a 3 at best, right?
Yeah, he got paid. He got paid a ton.
That offseason for the Patriots was crazy. They paid Hunter Henry,
Jonnu
Smith, yeah,
who did nothing, and now all of a sudden it's good again. Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar,
yep,
Devontae Parker.
They paid these scrubs just huge amounts of money because they had like 70-something million in cap space.
Yeah,
and they were just like, we might as well use them.
Stupid. Oh wow. Apparently Justin Herbert's been dating one of the NFL reporters. 32-year-old NFL reporter for 25-year-old Justin Herbert. Pretty good. Pretty good, Herbert. Nice. Amari Cooper and Pierce for Puka. I'd do it. Do it. Absolutely do it. I'm guessing he means Damian Pierce and not Alec Pierce, but Damian Pierce, I mean, they're going into a bye, and Devin Singletary had all the passing game work, goal line.
Yeah.
It's weird because Damian Pierce was good last year, but
he was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm selling. Get rid of Pierce. And Amari Cooper, I mean, like, he's just, again, consistent. He's going to be solid. He probably I mean, I don't know, with Watson and the issues there. I mean, just do Puka. Like, Puka should be a top 10, maybe receiver 10 the rest of the season.
You think so? I mean, his usage is going to go down with Cup.
But it's like still, I think it's going to go up now that Kyron's injured.
That's true. Yeah, they're not going to be running it as much.
Yeah,
I like Puka, man. Shoot, that was a good pickup for MF. He paid like $75 for him, but he got him.
Full PPR, trade Kamara and Stroud for Jacobs. Nah, keep Kamara. Jacobs has a great role, but no, keep Kamara. And
Los.
What?
Ryan, if you want a dominant fantasy owner, invite me next time.
Listen hey, you want to hear his team? He's the bad boy or bad guy. He's got a pretty darn good team, I will admit.
Ryan, has Dan told you what my team is?
No, I haven't. Let me tell you.
My team is pretty good on paper.
What do you like? Do you have the worst fantasy points for as well?
No, it's given up.
You do have the worst points scored too, Bora.
Well, like a couple weeks ago,
you've had a couple of bad weeks.
Yeah. But my team is, I have Lamar, Olave, Amari Cooper, Bijan, Aaron Jones, who's just been injured.
Yep.
Pickens, Howell, Sutton, Mayer, Ertz, Gibson, Nico Collins, Khalil Herbert, and Josh Dobbs.
You forgot.
That's a loaded team. That's pretty loaded.
It's pretty good. It's just none of them have.
You should trade Pickens.
Listen to the bad guy. Put Los up there again. The comment. We'll read his team off. He's got a darn good team. He's 5-1 with only loss coming to. Okay. He's got Tua, Tyreek. That's a great combination. Cooper Kupp.
That's so good.
Cooper Kupp, who he drafted early and stashed him.
Oh.
Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker.
Oh.
Dallas Goedert, Addison, one wide receiver. He's a little weak there, I think. Not too bad, but then he's got his.
You saying he's weak at receiver?
No, I mean Addison's okay. He's not bad.
I mean, with no Jefferson, like Addison should be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's Yeah, he's got Brian Robinson, Washington. Justin Fields was his other QB. Just went down though.
I'd probably trade Brian Robinson. I've got him in a couple. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to trade Brian Robinson for Puka. That's what I've been trying to do.
Warren. He's got Warren, running back Pittsburgh. Spears, Atwell.
Spears is all of a sudden maybe going to be the guy with Henry out.
Looks like he just picked up Michael Wilson.
Sneaky with Kyler coming back.
And then his defense, he's got Cleveland and Jacksonville. He picked up Cleveland on waivers somebody let him go a week or two ago. Cleveland, the number one defense in the league. Now that's that team. Listen to this team by Heroku. He's got a dang good team too. He's a little weak at QB, but he's super solid at the.
Oh, his team is stacked.
Oh, wait, let me answer these questions real quick. Trade Mahomes for Brees, Hall, Amon-Ra, and Fields.
Trade Mahomes for Brees Hall.
Yes. I mean, even if you can't use Fields, like that's fine. Just take Amon-Ra, take Brees, and just figure your QB out as a streamer and hope Fields comes back. And then also Super CNB Challenger said T-Law or Sam Howell this week, or any streaming options you like Mayfield. I think you got to go Sam Howell. I mean, they're playing the Giants defense, not that good. Howell's like pretty consistently been above 16 points every week.
Lawrence is questionable.
Lawrence is not only questionable, hasn't really done much fantasy-wise all year, and then they're playing the Saints D on the road, and it's an all-time spot for Jags. Jags in London for 2 weeks.
On a short
come
week.
Home, finally play well, or like manage to play well, and then have a short week. Like it's just the travel has to get to them at some point. Saints are coming off a loss, home in the Superdome. I actually I teased that game, Saints in the under. So
Wow.
I think it's gonna be an under game. So I just wouldn't want any piece of that game unless it's Kamara or ETN.
Here's this other guy's team. Listen to this guy's team. He's stacked with receivers and backs, but he's QBs. He's a little. That's probably the thing that's holding him back. He's got Jordan Love, and his other QB is Minshew. Minshew. But listen to his receivers. He's got Keenan Allen. He's got AJ Brown and Jamar Chase.
Oh.
and then his backs are Kamara and Pollard.
Oh.
And his tight end is Andrews.
Oh.
And then he's got Moss and McLaughlin and Mason. Jeez.
Well, whose team is that?
I play him this week.
I played him last week.
Who's his quarterback?
Jordan Love and Minshew. It's QB league.
It's like
he doesn't use his 2 QBs.
Yeah,
he's using
sanity.
Yeah, my team. It's funny because my team is ranked really high on this one site that you link it to Yahoo. It's Fantasy Pros.
Yeah,
they gave me 100 on the power ranking. I don't know what, but my team right now is Allen and Diggs, Watson, ETN, Jonathan Taylor, Laporta, Devontae Smith, and Goff. And my defense is San Francisco. That's my starting lineup. And then I picked up KJ Osborne on waivers. And I got White on the bench. And I got J. Smith Najigba, however you say it. How do you say his last name? Najigba?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
Jigba.
Gainwell, who's not long for this league. Rice and Charbonnet.
I mean, you got the depth too.
I know. I might I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe that trade being nixed. Maybe I'm.
Yeah. Wait. All right. We got to answer this one too. With Brees on bye and Monty injured, it's rough, LMAO. But should I start McLaughlin, Justice Hill, Keontae Ingram, Kareem Hunt in PPR? You were the one who just alerted me to Kareem. Let me look up Kareem Hunt's health, because if Kareem Hunt is playing, then I would play Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
Okay, well, it's Wednesday. I would say it's probably just
might be a Veterans Day,
but I would have to say, I don't know. In McLaughlin, Justin Hill kind of toss up. Like Hill, you're just praying for a touchdown. McLaughlin has been increasing his role. I'd probably go McLaughlin in a PPR. Yeah, I'd go Kareem Hunt, and then second, I'd go McLaughlin. Dynasty traded Travis Kelce, Michael Thomas, Dalvin Cook. Well, first of all, you just traded 3 old ass, like you just traded like the 2018 first round picks, 3 2018 first round picks for Jonathan Taylor, Amari Cooper, and George Kittle. I'd say Kittle. I mean, I think Kittle's just like had a lot of damage. So like as far as like he's just been beaten up a lot.
He might be I think Jonathan Taylor just by himself makes up for it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I obviously I think you still got to say Kelce over Kittle. But Cooper over Michael Thomas. I mean, Cooper's still doing his damn thing. Michael Thomas, I don't even know if he'll make it through this year. He's already got like a toe issue.
Yeah.
And Cooper's just like, lock it in wide receiver 2 for the next, 3-4 years.
And Cook is just
Dalvin Cook
cooked.
is Dalvin cooked. And so Jonathan Taylor, I mean, what I would like next year, you're going in, Jonathan Taylor's got a brand new deal, and you got an A-Rich running, back there, another year in the offense. Yeah, you won the trade.
All right, we are set up to roll at 9:05 in about 7 minutes.
Did anybody pick up that random quarterback for Chicago, the one that played at Shepherd?
Yeah, someone has him.
I can't believe Larry actually had a read on him.
Right, Shepherd. That's
shocking.
Is Fields going to be out maybe for a while?
Yeah,
like weeks.
I mean, they said like surgery, isn't it? It's his hand.
It's his thumb, I think.
I might have to trade Los for. I might have to give Los give him Josh Allen for Tua and Cup.
That would be
not Tua and Cup, Hill and Cup.
Hill and Cup.
Well,
I guess if you are in a, you are in the 2 QB league. Yeah.
Hill and Cup. I'll give him Watson for Hill and Cup. Watson and Allen.
Oh.
That would be something.
Los isn't separating Tyreek Hill and
I can't really give you like an answer yes or no to that because I just can't. My brain hasn't wrapped around the 2 QB system. But
super flex.
But I mean, like in almost all other leagues, like if you did a redraft right now from the start of the season, like Tyreek's going like 2 overall, and Cup is going like 5. So, but I don't know. Is maybe Josh Allen's number 1 in QB flex?
Oh man,
Hurts for Walker and Fields.
Hurts for Walker.
I mean, if Fields is out, Los, I don't trade. I like that.
I know Los don't trade.
His team's too stacked.
Los, we're coming up in 5 minutes. Let me send you guys all the link.
Will be happy with his team. Does Will B got a pretty stacked team?
Yeah, he does. He has a pretty good team.
Damn, let's see. Oh, Dan, also Justin Herbert is dating like a pretty hot blonde NFL Network reporter.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her. Yeah.
2 isn't good in colder weather, Lows. I mean, honestly, I hate.
Are they playing in Philly?
Okay, this is a good question. And we have someone on the show that would be completely biased. But would you rather have for the rest of the season Josh Allen and Diggs or Tua and Hill?
I know
because if you could guarantee me that Tua was healthy, you'd take Tua and Hill. But I'm still worried about Tua getting injured. And if Tua gets injured, not only there goes your quarterback, but it also Tyreek's value diminishes a little bit. That's a tough one.
I do like Allen for the rushing TDs too.
I mean, Allen's.
You get down on the goal line, awesome. 1 yard line, it's a QB sneak.
Yeah,
it should be. All right, I'm sending all you guys the links. Right, Smitty. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you know what? You send me the links. I'm gonna end this stream so I can eat a little dinner before I pop on yours. But again, everyone, please subscribe. Trying to get to 500. I think I'm like 32 away or something like that.
Oh yeah, let's get them over the top.
Need that monetization, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I start getting those super chats.
Dynasty 1 QB. This will be the last one. Dynasty, 1 QB, have Lamar and Bryce Young. No one needed a QB. Traded Justin Fields and Debo for a first-round pick. The team is 0-6. Probably gave up too much, but I'm really high on Marvin Harrison.
Oh, for next year, he gets the #1 pick.
Oh. Dynasty, 1 QB, have Lamar and Bryce Young. No one needed it. Wait. No. I'm having
No one needed a quarterback. Right? No.
So he
No one
he
needed-
had 3 quarterbacks. He traded Fields
Oh,
and Debo.
so he traded
for
Fields and
first.
Debo for a first-round pick. Team is 0-6. Thoughts?
Just tank
I mean,
this.
dude, no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're
'Cause-
0-6. If
Wait.
if you're building for next year or something.
Yeah, you're building for
Far-
next year. That's awesome.
Farhan never figured out.
Yeah, that's sick. Like, dude, you're Bora, you're 0-6. Like, would you do this if this was a dynasty league?
I would trade away everybody that's like over 26
Yeah.
and just get my picks. Yeah, I would.
Could you
do that
imagine
100%.
getting like 4 or 5 first-round picks, and then all of a sudden you'd own the league next year?
Well, you know what's fun though is like, think about this. Like, this is what makes dynasty cool. Is like, oh, imagine like your quarterback in a normal league, like your guys' league, was Justin Fields, and he got hurt. It's like, God damn it, my season might be over now. This guy loses Justin Fields, trades an injured Justin Fields for a first-round pick next year. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Plus, he gets rid of Justin Fields, which could improve the locker room. His attitude's gone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden, his 0-6 team goes on a run.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah. Get Debo out of there. Debo's all aggro. Ready, set, rush. What's up?
Awesome.
Smith
29
High.
away.
29
Mark Gray
away.
says.
All
There
right.
you go.
I need to like farm. I need a farm.
Subscribe and then
29.
meet us over here right now at NorCal Sports Network. We'll carry this party over to NorCal Sports Network. Dull Guitar, I need you over there subscribing. Ready, set, rush, hut, go. Subscribe. Super CNB Challengers. You're not a subscriber that I know of. Come on over and subscribe. Sean the Dankster, Jace Hayes. We need subs. We're getting close to 1,000.
Oh, don't rub it in, Dan.
Oh no, we'll both reach it there. We'll both reach it. Asad Af Hop or whatever. Ace something. Hop. You know who you are. Come on over. Nate Dogg, man. Come on over to the NorCal Sports Network. Everybody come on over. Rye will be joining us after he slams down a cheeseburger or whatever you're going to have. What are you going to have, Rye?
Oh, it's just a pretty particular thing. I don't know if you've ever had this, but so my girlfriend made like, it's like, basically it's like mozzarella cheese and like, oh God, I'm botching this, like ground pork.
Yeah.
And in like a kind of like a tomato sauce, like kind of like an Italian tomato sauce type deal inside of like a roasted bell pepper. It's pretty damn good.
Don't tell Los. He'll be, man, he's a food connoisseur, man. The guy should start his Food Network show. Los, man.
Ready, set, rush. On my way. Let's go.
All right.
Eddie
NorCal Sports Network. It's got the California flag. Go to YouTube, subscribe, come on over. We're starting in 2 minutes. We're actually a minute late. Well, I'll push it up to 9:10. NorCal Sports Network. And then everybody who's on NorCal Sports Network, we're going to get them to subscribe tonight to West Coast Bias. Hopefully we can 500 tonight. It'll be, but
that'd be sick.
Let's see. Let me change. I need to go into the room, change that to 9:10.
Change to 9:15.
Why? What do you got?
No, just to let people.
What do you got, a date?
I got my little internet date.
All right, 9:15 it is. Bora's gonna Rye's gonna have some chow. That's gonna sound. I'm getting kind of hungry. You know, I had dinner a little earlier, so maybe I'll go get me a little snack too. Hold on, Interstudio edit. 9:15. You guys can go over to the chat now, though. Get into the chat, NorCal Sports Network. I love that name. Ready?
Let's go.
388! 388! Justin Bieber! Hut! Rush! Where'd he go? Oh, he went to eat. Are we live on his show?